Like if all of us would go to a restaurant in a different city. Let's say we go to a restaurant in Cincinnati. We walk in there. It's a restaurant had all white people in it, and we came in there. We wouldn't feel uncomfortable about that because that's the norm.
Right.
I'll be where my office is in West Midtown, and there's a bar and a restaurant, or go to Houston's. It's all black people. And white people walk in there and they be like, "Do we belong here? Like, what is what?"
Yeah.
I said, "That's what it's like to feel like a minority." And I said, "See, yeah."
You've never felt like that.
Yeah. That's what it feels like. Do I belong? I feel like I'm in the wrong place.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. And Atlanta has that type of energy.
And you're saying that's the only place in this country so far that you think that's something kind of, if everybody moves there, that it's got the base enough to happen.
You don't build empires from operating in different sectors. You build empires, you expand them. So if Atlanta is the first successful then let's expand the empire to Georgia. And then let's expand our empire to Alabama. And then let's expand our empire to Mississippi. And keep doing that and just keep flooding this area with people, and you can't stop it. Like Georgia is 35% African American, and Atlanta's like 49% African American. Like that's not hard. We can flip that, especially with people that have a more liberal agenda. That's nothing. We can have a black governor. This next governor's race, we should have a black governor. There should be no reason that there's 10 million people that live in Georgia, 7 million registered. Only 4 million people voted the first time that Stacey Abrams and Brian Kemp won. And what's important about that is a black governor has the power to create those types of laws, decriminalizing marijuana, passing reparations on a statewide level, all those things that you're able to do.
Gillespie? Yeah. You saw it. I saw it. Well, what are you gonna do about it? I don't know. I'll remember that.
What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Subscriber died trying. You see the thumbnail. More importantly, you saw the clip. Like Fear of Black Planet, right? What Isaac Hayes was talking about made me think about an old story about years ago. I was working, and the guy that ran the business, he was talking about culture shock. And he said it was like a business trip to, what is that? To Africa, I want to say. The business trip was to Africa. Africa or the Caribbean, but I'm pretty sure it was Africa. And he says they were banking. They were going to Africa and they were banking. They had to go to a bank or whatever. And they're all American, okay? The black guys chilling, but the white guys are like they're really uneasy. He's like, what? And he's like, what is y'all problem? And then he's looking around and it dawns on him, they were in Africa around, with really hardly any white people conducting, just day-to-day business or whatever. And they were very uncomfortable. They couldn't wait to get back on that plane and get close to Europe, right? And what he was talking about with the thing in Atlanta, I think about now when I look at all of the issues that we have in this country politically and racially, culturally, ethnicity. It's the same thing. It's the same fear of, I can't be the minority because, oh my God, like I don't fit in anymore. The way I've done things is not going to work anymore. This is not South Africa. Like in the United States of America, it's not South Africa. You're not finna have the 5% control of 95%. That's not finna happen. people trying it. That's part of, in my opinion, that's what part of AI and all these firings are for. It's just like to keep all these other groups down. Hold on. Had to take a call. Sorry about that, but I'm getting back on the topic. Um, but that's what all the people being unemployed is about. Inflation. It's the failure of the politics and government, not so much corporations. Corporations with paying people to put America in these positions, but more of a failure on the politicians and the government officials to get America to where it is right now and the debt that it's in right now. And the debt, has created, as other people talk about, you hear SWP talking about it, with white America, like white America isn't having enough children. Not just white America, Europe the same. And that's because of the rising cost of life, and they're not that ideology is built into white America, just European society, that you have to be in a certain position to have kids and have a family and have this and have that. So instead of reproducing, it's like, hey, I can't do it, we're not doing it, and then the numbers go down and down and down. And then what you see is a fear of I'm just saying a black planet because I'm a black content creator, but it's just that fear. And I've noticed, I think that's an American thing. And the reason I say that is because I don't see that fear. Uh, I didn't see that fear, even though I said the story earlier about Africa. I don't see that fear in white people in the Caribbean and Africa, like, oh, I'm out of place here. I don't see that. I didn't see that. It could be there, but I didn't see it when I was in those places. But in America, it is a uncomfortableness. Like, that's why you don't really see too many um, people of other ethnicities going to a black establishment on a regular basis. Now, we'll go everywhere. We really don't care as black people. We go everywhere. You know, just for try something out, experience. We don't mind. And sometimes we get that look like, oh, okay, I ain't supposed to be here. Oh, I got you. But other groups, they're not like that. They get nervous and fearful and want to break down and, oh God. So what I see, is that fear, that part of the political aspect. When you hear the people being extra conservative and extra psychopathic and sociopathic and, oh, everybody should just die kind of mentality, like, it's that the you will not replace us Charlottesville type of mentality, that's spreading the idea that you got people who aren't even white being white supremacists, whether they be black Americans, uh, black Caribbeans, black Africans. You got Hispanics doing it. You got Asians doing it. You get what I'm saying? You got Muslims, or people from Muslim countries doing it. Like, if it ain't white, it ain't right. What kind of world will it be if it's not white people on the top and everybody else beneath them? It's that. It's that fear of something different. Because, just in my opinion, I'm gonna say it in my opinion, they found a way to get ahead in that dynamic. Like, if the pendulum shifts, they went from, let's just say, being the traitor to their own community on the winning team to being the traitor of their own community on the losing team, just once the pendulum swung. And they're fighting to make sure it doesn't go that way quicker, because they want the table scraps from the table. And that's part of these enclaves. That was part of that thing with most people in Arkansas / Missouri, you know, that's part of that dynamic where, oh, we're gonna go here, we're gonna do this, we're gonna be by ourselves, we're gonna build something. It's like you never build anything. You just buy it, you just with your own people talking a whole lot of noise, but you're not really doing anything. And then I remember that old thing of, you know, that old, we fear that you're gonna do to us what we have done to you, you know, and that was a big thing when Obama became president. That's when you heard that, like, the blacks are taking over, they're gonna do this, they're gonna do it. It's like, oh, and the same people from then exist now, and it was the same people who acting like, racism. There's no. What about Chicago? What about we need to bring the National Guard? It's a culture issue, and it's like it is a culture issue. It's a culture of hatred, mean spirited hatred, racism. And you don't want to be on the other side of that. What am I living for if I don't have this to make me feel important? And it's like, hey, it is what it is. It really is what it is. Like, and people have been knowing that for a while. That's why in some ways, you slowly see these people called liberals or whatever. You start seeing these racial interactions with people just trying to just find common ground and get along in different kind of ways, because people know what once was in America is coming to an end, and a lot of people won't be able to live or deal with it. You're gonna see a lot of people just decide to go to the afterlife because they can't live in a world where there's more, let's just say, equality or merit or just integrity. Like, no, it's supposed to be skewed a certain way, and that fear is gonna cause a lot of it's gonna cause a lot of breakdowns when people start realizing, oh man, I don't have the advantages I once did, and now I might be an outsider in my own country, and that's what in my opinion, part of the "Make America Great Again" crowd is fearful of. I'm gonna be a stranger in my own land. It's like, wasn't really your land to begin with, though. But let me leave it at that. You tell me what you think. Like, share, subscribe. Catch you on the next one. Peace.